Hello, I'm Yesenia Taveras, and welcome to La Conexión, The Connection, a television show that seeks to connect the Latino community to beneficial programs and services in support of them. On today's show, we'll be discussing the Delaware World Language Immersion Program, and joining us today is Lynn Fulton Archer, who will tell us a little bit about the program in more details. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for having me today.
Well, welcome on our premiere show. I really appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
And to start off with, can you just tell us a little bit about the background? Like, how did this program come about? What is the immersion program?
Sure. So the Delaware World Language Immersion Program is actually a part of a much larger K through 12 educational initiative that was created by and is really backed strongly by Governor Jack Markell. And the goal is for us to really be looking at how do we help students gain an economic advantage in the world. And given the ever-shrinking global economy and global markets, we know that language ability is going to be really important for students. And so as Governor Markell started traveling around the world and then had some business dealings in Delaware that brought to light the importance of the ability to speak another language, we really started looking at how do we give students long sequences of instruction. And in order to do that, we have to start in elementary school. So the World Language Immersion Program starts in kindergarten, and it's a kindergarten through 12th grade learning experience for students, where students spend half of their day learning in English, and the other half of the day they learn in either Chinese or Spanish. And we take the regular content that they would learn in any grade level, and we divide that among two teachers, one who's an English speaker, and then one who's either a Chinese or a Spanish speaker.
¿Puedes decir la información en español también?
Claro que sí. Que el programa de inmersión es un programa patrocinado por el Governor Jack Markell, por el gobernador, y tiene a su meta final poder dar a los niños del estado la oportunidad de lograr un nivel avanzado de hablar otro idioma, o chino o el español, y también la habilidad de continuar hablando inglés. Y sabemos que los niños y los estudiantes de Delaware van a necesitar competir por unos trabajos entre personas que ya hablan otros idiomas. La economía de Delaware está enlazado con las economías de otros lugares, y es muy importante que los niños puedan hablar otro idioma, pueden trabajar en una fuerza laboral que sea muy global.
¿Y qué son los beneficios de este programa?
Los beneficios son muchos. Los niños aprenden el contenido académico a través de otro idioma, aprenden un idioma a través de un contexto académico. También para los niños hispanos hay otros beneficios. Los niños saquen o pueden ver unos logros académicos más rápidos que los niños que no participan en un programa de español.
Y tú puedes hablar en español, so you are a perfect example of a person who went through a program similar as this one.
I am.
So can you share us that experience?
Sure. So I myself am a product of an early language learning program. I started learning Spanish in 2nd grade when I was in school in Arizona, and was able to continue studies, not in an intensive way through the rest of my academic career, but definitely through middle and high school. I took regular high school classes. And then when I get to college, I was able to actually live in Spain for a year and then did graduate work abroad. So the idea of being surrounded by language and being forced to make meaning out of everything that's around you is really beneficial for students. That's the way I learned. I learned by immersing myself in the language in college, and we want to bring that experience down to students as early as kindergarten here in Delaware.
And when some people think of Spanish immersion program, they think, oh, well, maybe the Hispanics will benefit more from this program as opposed to the non-Hispanics. What's your take on that?
Well, actually, this program is designed for any child, no matter what their language background. We strive to make sure that at least 50% of the students in any given program across the state are primarily English speakers. But here in the northern part of the state, and actually both of the programs that we have currently, we actually have what we call a two-way population. So about half of our students are English speakers, and the other half of our students are Spanish speakers. And so both of those groups are learning another language at the same time, and they work together with each other to learn that language throughout the day.
And what approach was taken when thinking of the curriculum and how to really incorporate this in the schools?
Well, we're very fortunate to have over 40 years of immersion programs around the country and internationally to draw upon. And we have chosen to use a 50-50 program model because we know that students developing ability in English is key for students. And so we don't want to put them in a situation where they're not learning English and they're only learning another language. So half of a student's day is spent in class with an English-speaking teacher, and they're learning English language arts, and then they have some time to reinforce content from other areas. And then the other half of the day they're spending in that other language. So here in Wilmington we have a Spanish program, and we're opening one more Spanish program next year in the upper part of the state. And students spend half of their day learning in Spanish, and in that part of the day they're learning their math, they're learning science, some of the social studies curriculum, and then they're also learning specifically they're learning the language itself. So they're learning Spanish, reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills in the language.
That's wonderful. That's a skill set that is you can't get that anywhere else, and to start while you're in kindergarten, that's the greatest way to
Exactly. We really want to develop bilingualism and biliteracy in students as they move through the program.
And how important is it to be bilingual in two languages? Not only Spanish, we're speaking about Spanish, but the immersion program does include Chinese as well. However, Jack Markell is a strong advocate of this program. Like I was telling you earlier at the LACC grand opening house that they had last year, he spoke for about 5 minutes in Spanish. So obviously we have him here in Delaware, and he travels, of course, and he's speaking the language. So how beneficial is learning these two different languages, Spanish and Chinese, in Delaware? How do we benefit?
In Delaware, Delaware is a state that has such a global economy, and you may not necessarily see that at first glance, but when you really kind of dig into the statistics, we do business with companies from all over the world. We have companies from all over the world that do business here. We are the primary port of entry for a tremendous number of products from abroad. And it's true that people say that, well, the language of business is English, but the real language of business is the language of your customer and your client. And given that the United States is only one small portion of the global economy, it's ever more important that we have the ability to speak with people in their own language, to be able to negotiate with them, and to be able to work with them through multicultural issues. And so we really try to make sure that students have a lot of exposure to speakers of lots of different languages in the immersion program, so that they can better understand why people do things the way that they do them, why they think a certain way, and really become better problem solvers.
And now the program is really picking up. It's expanding throughout Delaware. And so how are we funding this? Where are the funds coming from?
So the funds are coming straight from the state legislature. We're very fortunate to have a dedicated line item for the expansion initiative, and as I mentioned, it really is a K-12 program. So some of that funding is dedicated exclusively to opening our immersion programs. And when we do that, we solicit proposals from school districts around the state.
Okay.
And then when they come into the initiative, we work with them to provide core instructional resources to help them find and train teachers. We provide training throughout the year, not only for the teachers in the programs, but also for the administrators, and we're just constantly trying to make the program as good as it possibly can be.
And so currently, how many schools are taking part in this curriculum?
We currently, in this academic year, we have 4 programs. We have one here in Wilmington, 2 in the Cesar Rodney School District, and 1 in the Indian River School District. However, we will open 7 more programs in August of 2013. We'll have 4 more Spanish programs and 3 additional Chinese programs that open in the fall.
And how are the parents getting involved? Are you including them in this process? What is how do they get to participate?
So parents are involved from the very first day. So right now we're actually holding parent meetings across the state in all of our brand new school districts, and even in our existing schools, they're holding parent meetings to let them know that they're that enrollment is opening for next year's kindergarten programs. And so we encourage parents to come and to listen up to presentations about the programs. In our schools where we're offering Spanish immersion, we often give parent presentations in Spanish to help those parents be able to ask and have all their questions answered. And then throughout the school year, we encourage the administrators in those buildings to make sure that they're holding parent immersion nights at least every 2 or 3 months, just to touch base with parents and let them know these are the things that we're learning, and to share with them some strategies about how students are actually learning another language in class.
¿Y puede decir la misma información en español?
Claro que sí, los padres son muy involucrados en todo el proceso de matricular el niño en el programa y después en poder hablar con y participar en reuniones escolares. Los administradores, los directores de los programas de inmersión normalmente tienen una noche especial para hablar del programa, para demostrar, para mostrar lo que están haciendo los niños en las clases. Y muchas veces en las escuelas donde hay programas de español, las reuniones también se llevan a cabo en español.
And since we're actually kind of running out of time, can you tell us a little bit about if a parent is interested, wants their child to attend one of these schools that have the immersion program, where can they find out more information about this?
Well, we have information on the Department of Education website, and you can find the information about the immersion programs there. We're also available by email, so Delaware Language Immersion at doe.k12.de.us. And we have a list of schools available on the website as well, and parents can contact schools directly to find out about their own enrollment processes, application series, when parent meetings will be held, etc.
Wonderful. Well, Lynn, thank you so much for joining us today on this premiere show. I really appreciate you taking the time out to join us. It's been a pleasure. And for those of you who are watching, please stay tuned, because we do have representatives from Pawlowski Elementary School who's going to tell us a little bit about how they're incorporating this program within their school.
¿Piensas que cargar 10 o 20 libras de peso extra no es mucho? Fuimos a un parque y repartimos bolsas de arena de 10 y 20 libras a la gente.
Ahora ya entiendo por qué la gente pesada no puede caminar mucho. Porque la rodilla lo siente uno.
Así como van los años, es muy fácil subir de peso.
Y no quiero este peso para mí.
A nadie le gustó cargar el peso extra, pero la gente lo hace todo el tiempo. ¿No te gustaría librarte de ese peso y dejar de ganar más?
No quiero tener más peso en el futuro, ¿no?
No está nada mal.
¿Y qué tiene de raro? Bueno, la práctica hace el maestro.
No tienes que ser perfecto para ser un padre perfecto. Hay miles de adolescentes en foster care que no necesitan perfección. Te necesitan a ti.
Manejar medio tomado podría costarte cerca de $10,000. Tendrás que enfrentar muchos gastos de abogado, serias multas y altos recargos en tu seguro. Podrías perderlo todo. Nada te quitará tanto las ganas de tomar como ser detenido por manejar entonado, porque manejar entonado es manejar borracho.
This fall, 7 more schools will be offering the Delaware World Language Immersion Program. And one of the schools is Pawlowski Elementary School. And we have here with us Tracy Roberts and Celeste Sosa.
Hello.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And my first question, Tracy, is basically along the lines of why did Pawlowski Elementary School get chosen as one of the schools to expand this program in?
Pawlowski was chosen because we already have a large population of Hispanic heritage students that attend Pawlowski, and we have the staff that's available to accommodate the program as it is right now.
And do you know if most of your students come from Wilmington or throughout the state, the northern state of Delaware?
Most of our students are from within our feeder zone, and so we only have 3 buses of students that bring students to our school. For the most part, our students are right from Wilmington.
The reason why I ask is because earlier speaking to Lynn, I did remember that it's up to the school to dictate if a student is opted in, if they don't live within the school district. So how are you guys handling that at Pawlowski Elementary School?
Our school district is actually handling the decisions. Right now, the idea is to have the students who are within our feeder zone, those students who live within our area, and then if there's a need, and a lottery could be opened up to allow other students to come in. But that's a decision that the district will make.
And so what are the benefits, you believe, of having this program at Pawlowski Elementary School?
Oh, there are many benefits. Our students will become bilingual, and as Lynn said, there will be students learning in the kindergarten, and then as they go up in grades, more classes and grades will be added. Our students will be more marketable because they will be bilingual, and it'll just be, throughout our school, there'll be an appreciation of a different culture.
¿Y se les puede decir en español los beneficios de este programa?
Claro, claro. Los beneficios de este programa son las habilidades que van a aprender los niños. Cuando ellos suban de grado, ellos pueden, primeramente en la high school, pueden coger clases que le dan crédito para la universidad también. Ellos también, hay una en la economía es variada ahora. Los Estados Unidos no es la única, el único país que tiene parte en la economía, así que diferentes lenguajes van a ser parte de eso también. Entonces los estudiantes que van a aprender el español también lo ayuda, tienen esa ventaja. Los estudiantes van a aprender diferentes materias en el español y eso lo ayuda a ellos. También mentalmente hay un proceso cognitivo que lo ayuda a ellos también cuando aprenden el español.
¿Y qué es la importancia para los niños que no hablan en inglés?
Primeramente ellos van a tener una apreciación para la diversidad cultural en el edificio. También ellos podrán, también la cognitiva le ayudará a ellos también, porque ellos lo ayuda a pensar mejor, la flexibilidad de ellos también le ayuda. Aprendiendo un lenguaje usa diferentes partes de la mente. Entonces eso es un proceso que requiere pensamiento crítico o critical thinking, como se dice en inglés, que es una palabra muy usada en estos días.
Y yo soy madre, yo tengo una hija, 2 años, y si hay un padre aquí en Wilmington quien quiere que su hijo tiene la, ¿cómo se dice?, oportunidad para incluir este programa en su currículum, ¿cómo se puede hacer eso at Pawlowski Elementary School?
She's saying that she's a parent, and that she would like to know if a parent is interested in having their child be part of the curriculum. How would they do that at Pawlowski?
The parents would have to apply as designed by our school district, Christina School District, and then there will be a process to choose those children that will be a part of the program.
Okay. And how is the school approaching the curriculum within the program? How are they going about it? Are you is the district selecting teachers from Spanish-speaking countries? How are you approaching incorporating this within your school?
Right now, Pawlowski has teachers we have 2 teachers actually from Spain, and then we have additional teachers who are bilingual right now. For the program, what we will do is we will use the curriculum that's created and provided by the Delaware Department of Education. And it will basically be the same curriculum that all children throughout our school will use, but they will provide the materials and resources for that program, for the Immersion program.
And when will this start? When will this begin at Pawlowski Elementary School? Is it in August?
It begins in August of this year, 2013.
And how many students are you anticipating to join, or is there a cutoff amount that you can only include in the program?
By design, the program asks for 25 students in 2 classes, so we're looking to have 50 students in our program at Pawlowski this fall.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what ends up happening to that student who really wanted to be in the program but kind of got cut off because you filled that 50-seat mark? What happens to them? Do they get on a waiting list? Can they try the following year? Do you know what ends up happening to that child?
Well, there may be a waiting list, but the great thing about Pawlowski is we already have a bilingual program existing in our school. It's not the dual language program, but we do have programs where the students can learn and be with their peers and use the language, their native language anyway. So they'll be able to be a part of Pawlowski anyway, but they will not be able to necessarily be in this program unless a spot opens up.
Now, I am aware Pawlowski Elementary School has a huge population of Hispanics. So how are you handling the non-Hispanic population there? Do you have a big number? Is it very few?
We have about 42%, which equals to be about 150 students who are not Latino.
So they too will also benefit from the Spanish immersion program is what you're
almost
definitely
saying? Yes, they will.
And how about yourself or any of the teachers? Have any of you guys gone outside of the state of Delaware and participated in some conferences? And if so, what was your experience?
Recently, one teacher of mine and I have had a chance to go to Utah on a study mission, and we were able to visit about 4 different schools that were already in the immersion program. And we had a wonderful time and got to see the program in action and got to speak with staff members and administrators who were able to share their implementation plans and how the program was going, and it was just an eye-opening experience to be able to see that it worked. And so I know that we have great plans at Pawlowski.
And I was just going to say, as the principal, and I believe Pawlowski is one of the first schools in the Christina School District that's going to be offering this, is that correct?
Yes, Christina has 2 schools that will be participating. Pawlowski will be offering Spanish and Downs will be offering Chinese.
And how excited are you about this new initiative as the principal?
I'm very excited. I think it'll be a great thing for us.
And also, if a parent wanted their child to participate in the immersion program, what could you say that Spanish-speaking student would have to look forward to?
That child would, first of all, there's a commitment from the parent to make sure that the child is signed in, and once the child is signed into the program, that commitment lasts throughout elementary school. And so the children will learn Spanish, they will learn English, and the great thing about the two-way language program, even those students who speak Spanish, they will become literate in reading and writing and listening and speaking. So they may actually speak at home, but they'll learn how to write and to understand and be able to be better communicators in the language.
¿Y se les puede decir la misma información en
Claro,
español?
claro. Vuelve a los beneficios también para que el niño va a obtener estando en ese programa. Un niño de habla hispana en su casa tal vez no sepa hablar, escribir, solamente hablar, sino también escribir el español, y entonces en esa clase podrá aprender cómo hablarlo, cómo escribirlo y cómo leerlo también. Es otra ventaja que tiene el programa.
Y the parents, are you guys going to have like some type of presentation for them so they can see the progression that the children have made? What type of approach are you taking with that?
Our school district is now creating a communication plan, and that will be shared with the public, and they'll be able to come visit the school. They'll be able to meet the teachers who will be involved, all of the teachers of the school. They'll be able to tour and be a part of the process of learning more about it. And I think that we'll also visit other community centers throughout the city just to make sure that everyone is aware of the program that's going to be at Pawlowski.
Y también puede decir.
Nuestro distrito está poniendo un plan de comunicación para la comunidad y para los padres que estén interesados. Van a haber reuniones y van a visitar diferentes organizaciones comunitarias para decirle a ellos cuándo esas reuniones van a pasar. Los padres que quieran que sus hijos estén en este programa juegan una parte muy especial y tienen que estar completamente involucrados en este proceso también, desde el principio hasta el final, el año completo. Queremos que los padres sepan eso también.
And what are your goals here? What do you hope to gain by having this immersion program available to the students at your Pawlowski Elementary School?
We hope to grow students who are bilingual, who are biliteral, who appreciate different cultures, and who understand that by having these marketable skills that they have more opportunities in the world.
And last time.
Nosotros queremos como una meta que nuestros estudiantes sean literalmente bilingües y que todas las habilidades que ellos necesitaran para tener éxito en esta vida, ellos la aprendan. Y creemos que un aprendizaje de otro lenguaje lo va a ayudar en eso.
Gracias. Y if there's any other information that you guys would like to share with us before we leave?
No, more information will be coming out through our school district, and we'll be sure to share it with you and your viewers. Thank you.
And look forward, because in August this will be available.
It surely will.
Well, Tracy and Celeste, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and joining us on this premiere show. It's the first of its kind, a bilingual program that's really set to educate the viewers, the Hispanic and non-Hispanic, on the different programs that are available to them. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you so much for making this possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stay tuned. When we return, there will be some fun facts about the Latin culture.
Hola, soy Salma Hayek. El amor es confianza, el amor es dignidad, el amor es respeto. El amor también es intervenir cuando alguien que usted conoce está siendo abusada. Por 15 años, la Línea Nacional sobre la Violencia Doméstica ha estado tomando llamadas y salvando vidas de víctimas. Llame al 1-800-799-7233 para recibir ayuda personal y confidencial en su idioma. Usted no está sola.
Manos, utensilios y superficies de cocina con agua y jabón. Este año, 1 de 6 personas en Estados Unidos se enfermará por comer alimentos contaminados. Visita foodsafety.gov/español.
Children born to Hispanics in the United States every year than there are Hispanics immigrating to the United States. The United States Census states that 43.5 million Hispanics account for almost 15% of the total population. That means that 1 in 7 people in the United States is of Hispanic origin. Did you know that the United States is the 5th largest Hispanic country in the world? And although Spanish is the 4th more frequently spoken language in the world, Hispanics are the largest population in the United States. There is no doubt that the Delaware World Language Immersion Program has an importance here in Delaware. And as you can see on our show today, there is so many beneficial skill sets, and there's going to be a lot of different curriculums within different schools. And don't forget that the immersion program is not only for Spanish, it's also in Chinese as well. So if you wanted any more information on these programs, please take a look at the information provided here for you below. And I like to take this opportunity on behalf of all of us here at WITN 22, the staff here who's put this show together, very, very wonderful, as I don't want to call everyone's name out, but everyone participated. I'm Yesenia Taveras. Thank you so much for joining us on this premiere show of La Conexión, The Connection.